There once was a tadpool who was swimming around in a pond, and the tadpole came up to his friend the frog, and he realized that he hadn't seen the frog for a while. So he said, "Where have you been? I haven't seen you." The frog replied, "Well, I've been jumping around on dry land for the past few days." And the tadpole says, "Jumping? Dry land? What are you talking about?" And the frog says, Oh, that's right. You haven't experienced dry land yet. Well, it's kind of like this, except for it's dry. And the tadpole says, "What do you mean dry? What is that like?" He's like, "Well, there's air there instead of water." He said, "Well, there's water too, but it's mostly all air." The tadpole, "Well, what is this stuff? What do you mean?" And so the frog tried to explain to the tadpole about all these things the tadpole had never experienced. But the frog found that there really wasn't any language that it could use to properly describe what the experience of being on land was like. And so to the tadpole, everything that the frog was saying just sounded like nonsense words. It sounded like a pretend make-believe place that didn't even relate to anything in his life, anything that he even had a word to transfer the meaning to. And so after a while of talking, the tadpole says, I don't think you're telling the truth. This just all sounds like complete nonsense. And the tadpole wouldn't believe the frog. And the frog says, "Well, you don't have to believe me. Nevertheless, what I'm saying is true." So the frog went on knowing that there was dry land, and the tadpole went on believing that there was no such thing as dry land, and that people who believed in such a thing were either liars or they were delusional. I'd like you to take this and parallel it to spiritual things for a minute. Here we have a tadpole. This is like those of us who have not experienced a spiritual experience or enlightenment or nirvana. And then there are those who are like this frog, who have been on dry land. They know what it's like. They've experienced it firsthand. The tadpole can hear about it from the frog, but that's different from experiencing it for itself. Some tadpoles may believe the frog, and some tadpoles may not believe the frog. The tadpoles that believe, may be called superstitious or foolish or ignorant by the other tadpoles, saying, "How can you believe in something that clearly doesn't exist? We've never seen it anywhere." But yet the frogs can say, "Well, I have experienced it. I have seen it." For the tadpole, this is all it knows. But for the frog, it knows something very different. And the fact of the matter is that until the tadpole will go out and set foot on dry land, it will never know what it hasn't experienced. It will never know what it's like to be on dry land.